Besides the insanely popular pumpkin flavor, butternut squash is one of the most popular flavors and vegetables to enjoy this season. Sandy D'Amato is from Goodstock Farm Cooking School in Hatfield. He joins us this morning with two delicious, colorful recipes. Wonderful to have you here, Chef Sanford.
Oh, thanks, Ashley. Great to be here.
Your recipes look beautiful and colorful and delicious. Let's jump right into the first butternut squash recipe.
Okay, so the first one is more of a traditional one that you'd have, the baked butternut squash. But what I like to do is I cut the squash in half, and then I just put it in a container covered with plastic wrap, a little bit of water, put it in the microwave. You can put it in for 10 minutes and on high, and they come out nice and soft. You take them out, you scoop them out.
Oh, you don't even have to turn your oven on. Throw it right in the microwave.
And then I've got a little mixture of spices here. So there's cinnamon, nutmeg, fennel, ginger, and a little bit of chipotle.
Just
give it a little bit of spice. And you mix that in with the squash, a little bit of salt and pepper, and then you fill them up. And
so you mix it all together, and then you mix it in with the inside of that half of the squash.
Half of the squash. And then what I do is I take a little piping bag and then pipe it right back into the squash.
Oh.
Put that in the oven just to heat, and then you take. I've got some pecans and breadcrumbs. Actually, they're little bread cubes. Mix that with a little bit of oil and then some of the same spice mixture. And the last 2 minutes of cooking, you just put this right over the top.
So you just mix all of that together with the spices and sprinkle it right on top?
Right, and then we'll put a pomegranate seeds in there, and they'll add a little bit of acidic bite to it.
And like a little punch of a burst of sweet flavor,
like
tart, right?
Exactly.
Look at how pretty that is.
And then you put that back in the oven for 2 minutes, and you're ready to go. So that could be an entree for one, or if you cut it in half, and you'll have 2 squash, so you have 4 portions of a side dish.
So now you do want to put it in the oven after you put the pomegranate seeds on top. Throw it in for just a couple of minutes, just to warm it.
2 minutes, just to warm it, because these are already baked off. So you want to make sure that they're baked and salted and really seasoned well.
It's what a nice Thanksgiving side dish. It's kind of an alternative to a baked potato or a sweet potato, but it's jazzed up. It's like the twice baked. It's so pretty. That's beautiful. Now that's the first recipe.
Right. So for our second recipe, we're going to take we're going to saute the squash. But we're going to start out with some wild rice, and this is a pre-cooked wild rice, but this is real wild rice. I mean, you can get it up in Canada. I mean, I'm originally from Wisconsin. The Ojibwas used to go out in the boats, and it's all lake rice, and it's actually not rice, but it's actually the tops of the grass, of the plants.
It has such a great flavor and texture. So this is pre-cooked. Everything here is kind of just blanched, right?
Off a little bit. So we're going to put a touch of oil, and then some butter in here, and this will brown up really quickly.
Oil and butter, good combination. And then what you have over here, if you can kind of go through these vegetables over here, you have Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprouts.
Those
turnips,
were fresh, right?
Fresh Brussels sprouts that are blanched off, turnips, and then, of course, the squash.
Now, how did you cook the turnip? I'm intimidated by turnips, Sandy.
Well, turnips, all you do is you peel them off, and then you just blanch them. You take boiling salted water and make sure that the water is seasoned well with salt. And then you just pop them in there for about 2-3 minutes. And you can feel them. They're just a little soft. They're still firm, but they're...
I didn't know they were white like this. I thought they were more of like a light orange color.
No, turnips are white.
Oh.
You might be thinking of rutabaga.
Well, maybe my grandma makes orange turnips during Thanksgiving. She always told me they were turnips, but they were orange. I'm confused. Grandma, we'll talk later.
Yeah,
I gotta know what she's making.
You better ask.
Because they're really good.
What's up with
Can
that,
I eat
Grandma?
this?
Yes.
It's in the squash family. That's good. Maybe it is rutabaga. Okay, so you just put that right in the pan?
Right. And here's a...
Look at those beautiful Brussels sprouts.
This is a turnip.
Oh, this is a turnip. See, learning a lot today.
So,
looks like a beet, right? Similar to.
Yeah, but they're not. You're thinking of golden beets, I think.
I'm thinking. I'm all confused, Sandy. We have to have a lesson in root vegetables, I think. Right. At least I do. Okay, so then you threw in the turnips and the butternut squash, which is already parboiled or blanched off and pre-cooked.
And once again, this is not completely cooked, but it's just almost cooked all the way.
That is so good.
So what you want to do is get a little bit of color on these.
Okay.
And then we'll season them up.
Now, when does the onion go in?
That's going to go in right after I get this seasoning in.
So you,
And I wanna-
this order is important? You want to make sure it's chopped uniformly and that you put it in this order?
Yeah, and then we're going to put a little bit of maple syrup.
Maple syrup.
And what that'll do is that's going to immediately start browning, and that'll glaze them up a little bit.
Now, what if I can't get that fancy toss that you do? I feel like sometimes when I'm
Well,
dealing
you
with
know what
delicate
you-
vegetables, I mush them.
Well, you can do that, and what you do is you get a box of regular croutons, you know, like from the store.
Yeah.
Just some hard croutons. You get a pan, and you start trying to flip them. And what you do is you flip them once, then you pick them up off the floor, you put them back in the pan, and then you do it again, and you keep doing it until you get that flip down.
Oh, that's how I gotta
It's
practice.
it's just repetition.
Okay, I gotta practice with some croutons. Let's hope my kids don't eat them off the floor. All right, so you've added the onions.
Now I add some lemon juice, a little bit, and that'll counteract
the
a
flavors.
little bit of citrus in there.
Right, because you have the maple syrup, that's the sweet, and then the tangy.
And then some dried cranberries that have been soaked in bourbon.
Oh my goodness, Sandy. And then top it off,
then
there's the
fresh
sage.
sage.
Oh, look at this dish. Thanksgiving can't come soon enough. What a beautiful,
Now we put our
beautiful
rice
meal.
in,
Oh, that smells amazing.
and then just toss it up.
Sandy, these are two amazing recipes that are great. Don't wait till Thanksgiving. Make them this weekend, right? We're out of time, but we're going to plate that up and show off these two beautiful butternut squash recipes. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
I can't wait to do it. I'm going to practice my flipping with croutons. And I got to ask my grandma about that turnip she makes for Thanksgiving. So much to do. Thanks so much, Sandy.
Thanks,
Nice to be
Ashley.
with
Thanks
you.
for having me.